Okay, so in our last class we discussed about analyze and vacuum. So what is analyze means? You see, immediately yesterday I was talking so much about collect stats, collect stats, collect stats. So the moment you say collect stats, that's all. You don't have to even answer any further details on this analyze. That means he understands that you knows about it. Okay, collect stats is the actually, yeah, analyze means collect stats only. Okay, so analyze is like, collecting collect stats in other databases. That means he understood that you knows it. Okay, because other people, they are working on other databases like Oracle, Teradata. All the people are at least one of these backgrounds. Okay, so collecting stats in Redshift is actually termed as analyze. Okay, so just with one word answer, you should know. You should tell him about you. Okay, so analyze is, it's a collect statistics in Redshift. So when we analyze, all the data demographics will be all the data demographics information will be stored in the metadata. What is the data demographics information? You don't have to tell about, all the unique values, null values, duplicate, all those things you don't have to tell. All the data demographics will be stored in the metadata. Okay, so if you ask what are the data demographics, then you can say number of null values, number of unique values, number of duplicate values. So all these information is known as data demographics. Okay, so again I'll repeat. Analyze means it's like collect statistics in other databases. Then you can use the collect stats itself. Okay, I mean the term you can use in your answer. Okay, analyze means it's collect statistics in other databases. So when we collect statistics, all the data demographics will be stored in the metadata. Optimizer will use this information to come up with the best plan. Bus. Only 3 statements. Okay, so I will tell again. Either you can use analyze or collect stats, okay, in interchangeably, but it's up to you. But first you need to tell him that analyze means collect stats. So analyze means it's collect statistics, okay, in other databases. So when we analyze, all the data demographic information will be stored in the metadata. So optimizer will come up with the best plan when we do analyze. Okay, so if we don't collect statistics, that means if we don't run analyze, okay, these two can be used interchangeably. It's better you answer with the word collect stats, because you already said collect stats means analyze. Okay, so if you don't collect statistics, optimizer will not have any idea about like how big the table is, or how small the table is, or how much data it has, all these details. So it may not come up with the best plan. Not may not, definitely it cannot come up with the best plan. So it's always very important that we do collect stats / analyze. Okay, I'm not saying analyze every time, you just use collect stats. Okay, so it's always recommended to collect statistics. Okay, so every time after data load is done to the table, generally collect stats will be done after the load, so that you're answering all the questions. You're not allowing him to ask one more question on the same concept, because you know that it's an important. Okay, so generally it will be done after the end of the load, or after the load is done. Okay, so then he will think if there is anything that can be asked in the analyze. Okay, then you can say that we use the Redshift, we use the syntax like analyze table name. Okay, so this is the syntax we use to collect statistics or to analyze on the table. Okay, so yeah, then you can tell this point. So on a table, whether the statistics are latest or not, we can get it by querying the SVV table info. Okay, we can query select star from SVV table info, where table name equals to the table name. Then it will show there is a column called stats of. Okay, stats of column will be there in SVV table info. If stats of 0 means statistics are latest or up to date. Stats of 100 means stats are stale. You need to use these terms. Stats are stale or old. Okay, so how we know whether the statistics are available on a table or not? We can know it by querying SVV table info. In SVV table info, there is a column called stats of. Stats of 0 means statistics are current. Current means latest or up to date. And stats of stale, I mean stats of 100 means statistics are stale. Stale means old. So when you see stats of 100, it means the table does not have statistics up to date. So you have to refresh the statistics of the table. How do you refresh? Analyze table name. Bus. You got the impression. So like that. Okay. So yeah, you need to do rehearsal. Whatever. First, write down all the points that you know about any particular concept and see how you can present them. For that, you need to know a lot of rehearsals, practice, especially if you are looking for a job. Prasad, I'm talking about you only, okay? So list down all the points and do rehearsal. You can ask the same question, what is analyze? And you just, okay? So answer it and see whether you are able to cover all the points or not. So like that. Okay. So vacuum. Okay. So next question is, you see there is no interview without analyze and vacuum. So that means these are definite questions that will come. Okay, vacuum. So what is vacuum? Then if that is the question, or can you please tell me about vacuum? He may ask in whatever way it is, but your answer will be same. What you know, vacuum means, you see in Redshift, okay, in Redshift, when we insert data, okay, so data will be inserted and stored in the blocks. Okay, yeah, that everyone knows. Okay, it will be stored, data will be stored in the blocks which are of 1 MB, okay, block size. But when we update or delete the data, okay, we are telling about two things, update and delete. Okay, when we update the data, okay, the data which is there in the blocks is actually not deleted, rather the updated blocks, the updated new data will be stored in new blocks. And what about the old blocks? They are not deleted, but rather they are marked as deleted, but they are not deleted. Okay, because when we update, what will be there? Only latest data, new data will be stored in the new blocks. Update means what? You are changing some value, maybe salary, department number, salary, designation, something is changing, so you are storing that value. Okay, so what Redshift does is, it will actually will not update the data in the current blocks. It will store the new data in the new blocks. Okay, so the old blocks are marked as deleted. I mean, marked for deletion. Okay, old blocks are marked for deletion. Okay, so when we update, Redshift actually stores the updated data in the new blocks, and it will mark the blocks for deletion, the existing blocks. Okay, it will only marks those blocks for deletion. Okay, but it will not actually delete those blocks. So that means it is unnecessarily occupying those blocks. It will only mark those blocks as deleted. Okay, but it will not actually delete them. So, okay, similarly, in case of delete, for example, you have 100 million records, okay, in a table. You have delete from table name. You executed delete from table name. Then all the data is deleted. Okay, all the data is deleted. But for example, the 100 million records used, you know, some okay, 1000 MB. 1000 MB means how many? 1024 MB, let's say. All these 100 million records used 1024 MB, means 1 GB. MB means what? We said, right, data is stored in 1 MB blocks. So all these 100 million are stored in 1024 1 MB blocks, means 1024 blocks. That means yeah, 1 GB is the table size, okay, no, but you deleted the table, okay, delete from table name, but it will still will not clear the space occupied by the table. Okay, okay, so That means in Redshift, when we update or delete data, okay, so when we update, the new data will be stored in new blocks, okay, but existing blocks only marked for deletion, but they will not be deleted. And especially when you insert also, it will especially when you delete also, it will delete the data, but those blocks will be marked for deletion but will not be deleted. So we have to run vacuum specifically to clear the blocks which are marked for deletion. To clear means to release the space occupied by those blocks which are marked for deletion. Okay, so vacuum now. Okay, vacuum. What is vacuum? Or like tell you something about vacuum, or tell whatever you know about vacuum. Means you see in Redshift, you can also say in Redshift or Postgres. You can also tell like that, but you can also say in Redshift. Okay, so whenever we update or delete data, the old blocks will not be deleted, rather they are marked for delete. So if you want to clear that space, or if you want to release that space of the blocks which are marked for deletion, we need to run vacuum. That will release the space occupied by the rows marked for deletion. Okay, I think Somna, you know Postgres, right? So you must have heard about vacuum.
Yeah, I have heard, sir.
Yeah, now you got clarity, like what is this vacuum?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So okay, now what are different types of vacuum? Okay, so actually in vacuum, I mean generally we should not say it is different types, but you know vacuum happens in this way. When we do vacuum, it will release the space occupied by the rows marked for deletion. Okay, so in vacuum what happens is it will release that, and it will sort the remaining rows. Okay, remaining rows. Okay, so for example, you updated. Okay, before update they are using 1 2 3 4 blocks. After updating, the new data is stored in 5 6 7 8 blocks. So when you run vacuum, I mean till you run vacuum, it will show 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 blocks which are occupied for this table. Okay, actually 1 2 3 4 is not valid, they are only marked for deletion. Only 5 6 7 8 are the blocks which are have holding latest data or updated data. So when you run vacuum, this 1 2 3 4 will released, means those blocks marked for deletion, right? So they will be released, and the 5 6 7 8, that blocks will be sorted within the disk, so that the four blocks which are, I mean, released now, they will be available for other tables to store the data, because the released space should be able to use by other tables, right? So all that data will be, all those blocks will be released for the storage, so that any new table can use those blocks. Okay, so generally when we do vacuum, it will clear the marks or rows marked for deletion, and then it will sort the data automatically. Okay, so that means here two things are happening. One is clearing the space which is occupied by the rows marked for deletion, and second one sorting those blocks, new blocks. Okay, so this is called vacuum with sort and vacuum with delete. Deleting means deleting the rows marked for deletion, thus releasing this space. That is vacuum delete. Vacuum delete means delete the rows marked for deletion, because they are called dead rows. Sometimes you will see in the internet dead rows. Obviously they are dead rows because they are marked for deletion only on the disk, they are not released. Okay, so they are called dead rows. So in vacuum delete, in delete phase, what happens, it will release all the space occupied by the rows marked for deletion. Okay, then it will sort the data. Okay, so instead of 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, it will just bring that 5 6 7 8 to 1 2 3 4, or it will put them there only, but makes this 1 2 3 4 to be available for the database to be occupied by some new tables or whatever it is. We can use them after sorting is done. Okay, so that means these two things are happening. So for example, I mean, sometimes he may ask in this way also question. I have a production. I have one table. It has some 100 million records, and mm, it is continuously every day. Okay, with a lot of updates and deletes happening on this table. Okay, updates and deletes happening on this table. Okay, so okay, he will say that it has only 1 million records. He will say that it has only 1 million records. Okay, but this table is getting continuously updating and deleting the data. Daily some data will be deleted and new data will be updated. Like that he will say. Okay. Okay. I'm getting. Sorry. I'm getting. Oh yeah, space issue. Like how do you troubleshoot? But anytime if he say about space issue, means he's intending to vacuum. So then you should, how you should tell is, okay, if that database is giving issue, then I will check SVP table info in that. So in SVP table, what you will see, there are two columns which are related to vacuum. What are those two columns? What are those two columns? TBL underscore rows and estimated visible rows. Okay, so TBL underscore rows, estimated visible. TBL underscore rows will have all the rows, okay, including rows marked for deletion. So very important documentation. So everything you should look from respective documentation. That will strengthen your knowledge. So anyway, the very fact stats of TBL underscore rows or estimated visible rows means you are genuine and you are working on Redshift. That's what you will understand immediately. Okay, so see, this is stats of, this is TBL underscore rows. What is TBL underscore rows? Total number of rows in the table. This value includes rows marked for deletion. See, this includes rows marked for deletion. Means there are a lot of space that need to be released, but not yet released. So that will be released only if you run vacuum. So, and this one, estimated visible rows. Estimated visible rows will only have, I mean, whatever the exact count the table has. That is what it is, estimated visible rows. So if a table is continuously updating and deleting, it will show, it, for example, it will show 100 million records in table rows, in TBL rows. But in estimated visible rows, it will show only whatever the data it has, exact count. For example, it has only 1 million. It is showing 1 million estimated visible rows, but table rows showing 100 million. So based on seeing these two values, you should know that this table is, it has many more rows marked for deletion. See, TBL underscore rows has 100 million. Estimated visible rows has 1 million. So what is its table actual count? 1 million only, because this is the exact count, estimated visible rows. That means it is showing 99 million more. That means that many rows which are marked for deletion, which are not yet cleared or released. So that means immediately you should understand that yes, this table requires vacuum. But so if you do vacuum, finish all these table rows, 100 million or 99 million, the rows marked for deletion, that space will be released. That means that space now available to the database, which can be used by the other tables. That means you are actually releasing or freeing some space by doing the vacuum. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How do you identify if the space is actually, I mean, generally these are the issues we face. Actually space is there, but it just occupied by those rows marked for deletion. Okay, so how do you identify? How do you identify, Somnath? Okay, so how do you identify if the actual database space is there, or it's already completely used.
Database.
Hmm?
Yes, sir. Can you tell me a question?
No, I'm asking like how do you know if the more space is used by the rows marked for deletion?
Yeah. So by the difference, seeing the difference between table rows and estimated rows.
Yeah, that's all. Okay, so you can just do select star from SVP table info or select, you know, database name, table name, comma, TBL underscore rows minus estimated visible rows. Okay, as the number of dead rows or rows marked for deletion from SVP table info. Okay, order by 3 descending. Then the table which has most, the table rows minus estimated, that means it has the most dead rows. So that means that table requires vacuum first. So like that, if you can clear or if you can run vacuum for those top 5 or 10 tables, that's all, you done the job, right? Somnath?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that means table rows TBL underscore rows will show all the rows marked for deletion. Estimated visible rows, actually it will show the actual rows. So TBL underscore rows minus estimated visible rows means those are all dead rows. So order by descending means order by descending on the dead rows. That means highest number will come on top. That means those are the tables which need to be run vacuum first. So this vacuum will actually release all those blocks occupied by those rows marked for deletion. That means it's actually freeing this space. Prasad, you got my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now, so okay. So when we vacuum, when we done vacuum, what happens? I mean, this can be another question. Not can be. Yes, this is. We must know this. So when we run vacuum, what happens? Vacuum, what will do? It will delete the rows marked for deletion, thus release the space occupied by those rows. That means it is releasing this space. The next one, it will sort the existing blocks. For example, this same example, the table which is using 100 million, okay, but actually it has 1 million. So when we run vacuum, so it will, that means it is using space, extra space for 99 million. So it will release all those blocks and it will only keep the blocks of the data for which it has 1 million records. So the blocks used by that 1 million are only APO. So it will just sort those blocks, release all other blocks. So actually vacuum means it deletes the data and then sorts the existing blocks. See, for example, in for example, in Excel, we have, let's say some 100, okay, some 100, columns are there, not columns, rows are there. And within that, you deleted some, some 50 rows, okay, here and there. I mean, maybe first some 10, then after deleting that remaining data, you will sort or no? Or you will just leave like that? You will sort it, same thing. So once it deletes the rows marked for deletion, it will sort the remaining blocks which are holding the current data. So this vacuum, okay. So now this vacuum, you will see different things: vacuum delete, vacuum sort, and vacuum full. See here syntax: vacuum full, okay, vacuum sort only, vacuum delete, okay. Of course, reindex and recluster. Yeah, we will see what is this vacuum full. I mean, by default, anyway, by default means whenever we vacuum table name. Okay, what is the syntax for vacuum? Vacuum table name. See here, vacuum table name. It will just do full vacuum. Vacuum table name means it will do full vacuum. Full vacuum means it will delete the rows marked for deletion releases the space and then sorts the existing blocks. That is vacuum delete. I mean vacuum, full vacuum. This is full vacuum. If you just do vacuum without mentioning anything, it will just do vacuum for the entire database. Okay, reclaim space and database resorts all the resorts rows in all tables based on the okay. So vacuum means it will do for all entire database because you did not mention anything like table or anything. So anyway, we don't do that because it will try to do vacuum for entire database. Database means what? It has so many tables. It can have some 50,000, 1 lakh tables also. Okay, so we don't want to do that. So nobody will do that. Okay, vacuum table name. This we generally do because whatever tables we want to vacuum, you should be doing this only. I said right, top 10 tables with highest highest rows marked for deletion. Yeah, we will be doing vacuum. This will deletes the rows marked for deletion and sorts the existing blocks. Okay, then yeah, so you see vacuum sort only. See here, vacuum sort. I mean, why this percent gives is, if you don't give, it will just do automatically to 100%. I mean, actually don't do 100%, it will do 95%, but you can say that it will do for full table. So vacuum sort, why we mention this percentage is if the table is too big, because in real time you will have two big tables and you don't want to do vacuum for the entire table because it will take time. So at that time you will mention, okay, I will do for 50% or 70%, 75% like that. Okay, but yeah, don't focus on that percent, just focus on vacuum sort only. Okay, we have to use this keyword vacuum sort only to table. I mean table till here means it will only sort the rows, it will not release the space. So actually sorting is not required, generally main application is releasing the space. Okay, so when do we do sort only is, you see here the next step, vacuum delete. So vacuum delete only table name. Vacuum delete only will actually delete the space occupied by the rows marked for deletion. Because if you observe too many dead rows, then obviously anyway Redshift will automatically do that. Okay, see, but in case if you found that, then only you will be doing vacuum delete only. For example, you see here, Amazon Redshift automatically performs delete only vacuum in the background. So you will never do, okay, if ever need to run a delete only vacuum. That means you rarely, will do this. Okay, so what I said, if at all we do just vacuum table name. Okay, it will both delete and then sort. Okay, so but Redshift will automatically do vacuum delete only, so no worries. Okay, so okay, I'll show you in okay, SVV table info. See, this is SVV table info, the last column, vacuum sort benefit. Okay, vacuum sort benefit. This is SVV table info. I'm looking. Okay, SVV table info, the last column, vacuum sort benefit. Vacuum sort benefit. Okay, the estimated maximum percentage improvement of scan query performance when you run vacuum sort. So if this is showing as high percentage, vacuum sort benefit, okay, if you see some 80%, then you can do vacuum sort, otherwise not required. Okay, so already Redshift will automatically performing vacuum delete, so that will release this space. Okay, if you run vacuum table name, that means which is full vacuum table name, so it will automatically delete and sort the data. So you rarely find, okay, for example, if you found two big table and if it get benefited with vacuum sort benefit, how do you know whether it is benefited or not? From this column, vacuum sort benefit equals to some 70, 80, 90, 100 means vacuum sort benefit means if you run vacuum sort, that will help this table. That's what it means. You see the estimated maximum percentage improvement of scan query, I mean improvement of scan query performance when you run vacuum sort. That means if it is high number means, okay, that query will be better, I mean improved that much. If it is low number means, I mean you can just no need to run vacuum sort. But generally nobody, I mean we generally don't run just vacuum sort. We run full vacuum means what? Vacuum table name, that is full vacuum. Okay, we run full vacuum, so the data will be automatically deleted, the rows marked for deletion, and it will sort the data automatically. So we no need to worry about vacuum sort or vacuum delete or anything. Okay, but if you don't mention that, obviously people will ask, right? I want to run only delete. Can I do that? I want to run only sort. Can I do that? Of course, in interview he may ask like this. I want to do only sorting of my data. Okay, can I do vacuum sort? Yes, of course you can do like that. You should say. I want to only delete. Okay, the rows marked for deletion. Can I do it? Yes, you can delete. That is called vacuum delete. You should answer like that. Okay, but if you do the vacuum table name, it will automatically perform vacuum delete and then vacuum sort. So yes, then yeah, the other things like vacuum reindex and yeah, those things are there, but they are these special use cases. Okay, reindex and the recluster. Analyze distribution of values in interleaved sort key column, then performs full vacuum of if the index in the table name is required. Okay, so actually say reindex table name. Analyze is the distribution of the values in the interleaved sort key columns. Yeah, this you can use if there are interleaved sort keys defined on a table. Okay, so yeah, but actually this we don't use. Okay, but if you ask, we should be able to tell something. So that's why we should know at least analyze reindex. If you ask, analyze reindex, yes, I know. We should always say yes. Okay, so that's why we should know reindex table. Okay, analyze the distribution of the values in the interleaved sort case means it analyzes the distribution of the values in the interleaved sort key columns, then performs full vacuum operation. Okay, so if reindex is used, table name is required. Okay. Vacuum reindex significantly takes longer than full vacuum because it makes an additional pass to analyze interleaved sort keys. Generally, it will take more time. So you can say that analyze reindex will generally take more time. Okay, so that's so it's not frequently used. You can say like that. And we sometimes use a vacuum reindex if because if the table is defined with interleaved sort key. And we have already said, what about we said interleaved sort key? We said, right, AWS is not recommending to use interleaved sort key. I mean, at the time of sort keys, I said, okay, always try to use compound sort key and try to avoid interleaved sort key because it will have some performance implications. Okay, so even if you do vacuum reindex, yeah, he says that it will take more time than the full vacuum. So that is the reason it's not advised. Okay. So recluster is for a different purpose. It is introduced. Okay. So anyway, let us study vacuum recluster. Sorts the portion of the table that are unsorted. Portion of the table that are already sorted by the automatic table sorter left intact. Okay. This comment does not match the newly sorted data with the sorted region. It also does not reclaim all the space that is marked for deletion. When this comment completes, the table might not appear fully sorted as indicated by the unsorted field in the SVG table info. We recommend that you use vacuum recluster for large tables with frequent ingestion and queries that access only the most recent data. Yeah, see here, we already said vacuum recluster. I'll tell you again. See, we recommend that you use vacuum recluster for large tables with frequent ingestion and queries that access only the most recent data. Means if the tables are too big, okay, too big, but there is continuous updates and deletes happening. You know that continuous updates and deletes means that updates and deletes can update or delete any of the data in the entire table, right? Means one is in the middle, one is in the end, one is somewhere like that. So at the time, vacuum recluster will only work on a portion of the table. That's what he says. See here, sorts the portion of the table that are unsorted. Okay, because the table is too big, and we also don't want to do operation for the entire area. Okay, so wherever it is required, it will apply. Sorts the portion of the table that are unsorted. Portions of the table. See next part. Portions of the table that are already sorted by automatic table sorter left intact. Means the already sorted portion it will not disturb. Wherever the data is not sorted, it will sort it. So in such cases, we will use vacuum recluster. Okay, so you can also tell this statement. We recommend that you use vacuum recluster for large tables. Okay, with frequent ingestion. So that one. But anyway, so because even real-time people also will use it very rarely, you know, the reindex and the recluster. Okay, so what you will expect is whether you know about vacuum, how vacuum will operate, and what does it mean by vacuum sort, what does it mean by vacuum delete. Okay, and what happens when you run vacuum, and what happens if you don't run vacuum. Okay, so those things. And how do you know whether the table is vacuumed or not? These details. How do you know? Or how do you know if your table need to be vacuumed? I said right, SVG table info. From that you can see based on the difference between table rows and estimated visible rows. If the difference is too big, yes, that requires vacuum. And of course, vacuum sort benefit column also you can use it. That will tell if running vacuum sort will help the table. Yes. Okay. So if you ask, can we run vacuum on to some percentage? Okay. Can I run a vacuum to some 70%, 80% of the table data? Yes, of course. Like this, vacuum to 75% or vacuum to some 80%, like that you can run. Okay, so vacuum table name means it will full vacuum. It is vacuum table name is a full vacuum. Okay,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
సార్ vacuum delete operation యూస్ చేసినప్పుడు షార్టింగ్ అవ్వదు సార్.
అవదు, అందుకే కదా vacuum delete only. Only means what?
ఎస్ సార్.
Vacuum sort only. Only means what? Only that one. That's all.
ఓకే సార్.
Only Arun should tell, or only Prasad should tell means only Prasad only should tell.
ఓకే.
Okay, so now you understood like how to use SVV table info to know about statistics, to know about vacuum, and to take action.
Yes.
Hello.
ఎస్ ఎస్ సార్.
Yeah, so basically SVV table info helps a lot. Okay, so we will be frequently querying. And
So
SVV, huh?
what is the meaning of SPV?
Okay, so in the Redshift, when we said what we said, Redshift is built on top of Postgres, right? And actually, yes, Redshift is built on top of Postgres, right? So basically, Postgres is a relational database. It's a SMP architecture, right? But what AWS did is they took Postgres and they converted from SMP to MPP. That, I mean, architecture, they made some architectural changes like converting SMP to MPP architecture, and then yeah, so yeah, row level storage to columnar storage, and then it introduced some new functions, right? It made some new, it, whatever it is there supporting in Postgres, it will support. Apart from that, it also introduced some new functions and new tables. These are those new tables. Especially in Postgres, you have PZ tables, right? Somnath, in Postgres, Postgres. Yeah,
Yes.
PZ tables. Those are all dictionary tables. Similarly, here in Redshift, we have something like, SCV table, STL means table, TL means table. SVV means actually these are views. Okay, so the system tables are named with this convention, like PZ is naming convention for Postgres database. So in Redshift, tables are named as STL. S means maybe system table. Okay, SVV system views, like that. The tables. Okay, this is the notation used for system tables in Redshift. Okay. See here, you can just check this. Okay, so system table, something like that, then you will get all the list of tables. This is STV, means these are again views. Okay, these are all STL views. This is SVV views. Okay, all the things that starts with STL, SVV, these are all system tables. Okay, which are new only to Redshift. These are not there in Postgres. Okay, so you see system views, see shows, right? System views. Okay, system tables. T is there means system tables. Okay, view, V means views. Okay, so all the metadata means like, what queries ran, SQL query. Anyway, we will discuss that. For example, you see STL. See, STL query, it will hold all the queries that are run on this system. Okay, so So yeah, we will talk about these different important system tables. So basically, SVV means system views, STL means system tables. That's what you can consider for now. These are all the system tables which are new or which are introduced by the Redshift. Because the system tables will capture all the actions that are happening. For example, if you create anything, any user, or if you create any database, if you create any table, all those details will be captured. Or if you run any query, all that will be captured in the system. So yeah, so for that we need system tables. Okay, so you got it, Somnath?
Yeah. So
Yeah. So for everything will be captured in one of these tables. CSTL user log. It will capture records details for the following changes to the database. Yeah. So it will capture create user, drop user, alter user, anything that happens on the user, it will capture. See STL vacuum. Okay. See, if you run vacuum, after that you can query this table and see what happened as part of that vacuum. It displays rows and block statistics for tables that have been vacuumed. So whatever you done vacuum, all the details will be captured here in STL vacuum. So like that, yeah, we will for now. STL means system tables, SVV means system views, and these STL or SVV, okay, these are all related to Redshift system tables. Okay, we don't, SVCS, SVL, no, we'll be either using SVV or STL. Okay, all these STL, okay, for our day-to-day operations. Or operations means what, to know like what's happening on the system. To query, we'll be querying. Sometimes is STV slices. I mean, STV slices means it will show like how many slices are there in your cluster. It will show. Yeah, once you introduced into this topic, you will know. Okay, you can query any of these tables. And anyway, respective documentation will be there. You can also run and see what's happening. Yeah, anyway, when I cover the topic, you will get some better idea on that. Okay.
yes.
Yeah. So next, actually, this is the most important in entire Redshift. Today, I will give introduction for loading and unloading. Okay. So basically, in real time, what do we do? I think, yeah, Somnath, you also said in the beginning, yeah, you want to, some more familiarity on, data loading and unloading. Yeah, because you are in real time. So in real time, that's what happens. What we do, all the thing that we do is loading and unloading. So loading data from different source systems to target. Target means our data warehouse, that is Redshift. Okay, and if in case if you need data, then we we can unload the data from Redshift. For example, some end users want some data, then you can unload it and you can give to them. So basically, all the thing that we do in data warehouse is loading and unloading. Loading means loading from your source systems. Unloading means after loading into the target data warehouse, okay, you will unload the data into whatever file format or whatever format. Okay, so in other databases, okay, the terms for loading and unloading is import and export. Okay, these are the terms used in other databases. For example, Teradata, Oracle, you take any databases that are leading databases, they use the term called import and export. Okay, import means loading data into database or data warehouse tables. Okay, so import means what? Loading. Loading from where? Loading from sources to where? To database or data warehouse or tables. I mean, Data warehouse means actually tables only we load. Okay, so be clear, no confusion what is import and what is export. Importing means source to target. Okay, your source system can be anything, Oracle, Postgres, okay, even flat files, SQL Server, MySQL, anything can be your source. From that source to loading into warehouse is called import. Export means taking something from somewhere. Export, okay, means exporting from Redshift to any file system or anywhere. Unloading, so unloading data from database or data warehouse to file. Unloading data from database or data warehouse to file is called export. Import means loading data into database or data warehouse. From where? From source. From source to Redshift is called import. Redshift to, okay, Redshift to maybe file or anywhere is called export. Okay, then in Redshift we don't use import and export. We use copy and unload. You see, boss, everyone is copy paste fellows. Okay, only terms they will change, but fundamental things are same. You see, all the data warehousing what we are doing, loading and unloading. So those people who came first in the industry, they said loading and unloading, and the person who is coming later, he will not use the same. Rather, they will use some different, different term. But actually, what happening here also you're loading, and here also you're unloading, but you give the different name, copy or unload. Okay, so the latest people will give some new name because I mean old names, I mean already used that, so they want to give a new name. Okay, and they want to do this separately. See, earlier, right, movie theaters how they will be. Okay, so some some maybe 5 rupees tickets, 10 rupees tickets, some tickets will be there, you know but nowadays multiplexes, Saint Paulis, some malls, so these came. Okay, maybe we don't know how it will be in future, so like that those people. But we may say I mean multiplex or Inox, whatever it may be, but it's a movie theater bus, right? So what happens there, people will go and watch movie. Same thing, whether you may use copy or unload, whatever the term. But what happens there? You are doing loading and unloading. Okay, only the term is different. Maybe after 5 years or maybe 10 years, somebody may say, I mean, they may not, in fact, even why, even I think in Snowflake or BigQuery, I think Azure, I think they must be using some term, maybe, it can be copy or it can be unload or it can be import or export, or they must be using some other name. Okay, but whatever they're doing is same thing, loading from source to the data warehouse and unloading from the data warehouse to some file. Fundamental names are import and export. You may use any term you want. Okay, Redshift may, I mean AWS may say copy and unload, Snowflake may say something, okay, and BigQuery may say something, but they are actually basic import and export, means loading data into warehouse and unloading data from warehouse to some file. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Samra, what about you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So since we are learning about Redshift, so we should know how to perform import. Always talk about the basic terminology. First, you see whenever we tell story, for example, if I have to tell, okay, for example, I have to tell story about Lord Rama. Okay, so Lord Rama, is a good boy. Then after that, every time I don't say Lord Rama, Lord Rama, Lord Rama, I will say he. Okay, he went to forest, or he killed a demon, or something, something. Similarly, first we say copy is basically used to import data from source to Redshift. Afterward, you don't use copy, copy, copy all the time. You just use import. Basically, that will make strong impression on the interviewer, because everyone knows it as import. You may be new to IT, but he is there since long time, right? The interviewer. At least he is more experienced than you. So better you talk about, when talking about analyze, you should talk in terms of color stats. When you talk about copy, you talk in terms of import. When you talk about download, you talk export. So these are the terms we use in any database. That means you will understand that you are already working in other databases also. And of course, Redshift will be your latest working database or data warehouse. So copy, it's an import, okay, which is used to import data from other sources to data Redshift. Okay, and unload means, yeah, unload is used, unload means unload is used to unload data from Redshift data warehouse to, generally in Redshift it is S3. Okay, S3 in Redshift we generally use S3. Okay, S3 is a, it's in file format. So yeah. Okay, then he may ask questions. I mean, nobody will ask you what is import and what is export, or nobody will ask you what is copy and what is unload. He will ask, can you please tell me something about copy, or like, did you face any issues during copy or during unload, or anytime did you restart, or how do you restart copy, or what are the different ways we can run copy with, or what are different source types you have worked with copy. So like that they will ask. Copy means everyone knows that. I mean, you don't expect that you don't know what is copy. Copy means it's used to load data bus from your source to Redshift. So he will ask, did you work with text files or CSV files or Parquet files? Otherwise, he'll ask you like, tell me how did you use copy in your project, or unload. Yeah, I have unloaded my data from Redshift to S3. Okay, for some end user requirement, like that. Okay, so yeah, before starting copy and unload, you know, so we need to have permissions to S3, because S3 copy means what it will copy from source to Redshift. The Redshift is a warehouse. So source, anything that you want to work with AWS Redshift, you know, first we have to bring that data into S3. Okay, your source may be like, MySQL, Oracle, DB2, Sybase, Postgres, RDS, whatever may be your source. We'll first place it in S3. Okay, and then from S3 we'll use copy to load it into Redshift. Similarly, while exporting also, first we copy data from Redshift to S3, and then we give, or we move that S3 file to whoever users wanting. Okay, but to do that we need to set some IAM policies and all. Okay, we will tell that tomorrow how to set up a copy job or how to run copy job. We'll discuss tomorrow. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
No, sir.
Sir, real time use చేస్తారు సార్ అంటే vacuum percentage.
Yeah, I mean, if I told, right, if table is too big, and
Okay.
too big means, like 100 terabytes table, 90 terabytes table, the vacuum is going to run longer, then yeah, 2% they will use, some 70%, threshold 75, like that they use. But generally for small tables, or even, medium big tables, they don't use. If it is too big, then only they will use. You see, if you're running vacuum, but you're limiting to some 70%, 80%, then you're not doing fully, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So for that reason, we don't use threshold and all. unless it's too big table and we cannot complete full vacuum and all. In such cases only they will use the threshold. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Are we good, Somnath?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, brothers. Thanks for your support. Yeah, actually, I'm almost ready for the travel. I got some dollars also. So I think only I need to do some COVID testing before a 1 day before onboarding. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
All the
tomorrow I
best.
think mostly, yeah, tomorrow we'll be, we'll have class. Anyway, tomorrow after class I'm going traveling to Hyderabad to hand over the laptop in India because we should not carry laptop. That's what they said. So, and after that, I think I'll be in US. I'll be in contact in WhatsApp. Okay. So
Okay, sir.
mostly we may take class. I think I'll plan the class while I'm in US also in hotel. I'll try to take the class on 31st. I think 31st is Vinayak Chavithi, right?
Yes,
But
sir.
I will update you. Okay, class. But Monday also no. Monday means 30th no class because I am on flight. 31st, yes, we may have class. Tomorrow anyway we'll have class. No worries. Okay.
Can you
Tomorrow
share
we'll
the
have class.
recordings that we'll go through in this time?
Yeah, I will share for sure all the videos till late. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, 31st
Yeah.
ఉంది సార్.
చెప్తాను రేపు చెప్తాను
అంటే
ఓకేనా
సార్
రేపు అయితే
31st has
31st
has some work.
వద్దా
Yes,
ఓకే
sir.
then not required, we will not have. Okay, anyway, not it's Vinayak Chavithi, right? So
Yes.
tomorrow will be last class. Okay, I mean at least for this month. Again we will see, I will let you know when is our next session. Okay, but I will make sure I will send all the recordings till tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, brothers. Take care.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.